Using a 13mm socket, we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt here and this bolt here. Using a pry bar, I'm going to go ahead and remove this caliper itself. Now I want to go ahead and use a tool to go ahead and support the brake unit itself. Put this up out of the way. Using a 21mm socket, remove this bolt and this bolt here. With those two bolts removed, go ahead and remove the caliper bracket, grab the rotor, pull that off and set this aside. Using a 35mm socket, we're going to go ahead and remove the axle nut. So what we want to do is want to test for the looseness of the CV axle in the hub. Doing so, we're just going to use a dead blow hammer here. I'm going to go ahead and pop the ABS wire out of the back side of the knuckle. On the back side of the knuckle is going to be 3 bolts you want to remove. There's one right here, there's one up top here, and then there's one along the back. Using our 18mm socket and a breaker bar, let's go ahead and loosen those. Now we're not going to take the bolts out all the way. We're going to pull the bolts out just enough so that the bolt is flush with the hub flange itself. We're going to do this for all 3 bolts. I'm going to go ahead and remove this ABS harness from the rest of these retainer clips all the way around, and then disconnect the connector up behind the fender liner here. You're going to use your pry tool and just pop this connector out here. This will help you to expose the connector right here. It has a little red lock tab on that, so you want to go ahead and push this lock tab up and out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and use a little flathead screwdriver just to pop that up. Might also be able to push it from the back side here. We have the tab up, and there's a little pinch tab here. We're going to pinch this and disconnect the harness from the ABS. Good, pull it back through. So now that we have the bolts loose and the axle nut off, we're going to go ahead and try and loosen the wheel hub from the knuckle itself. I'm going to go ahead and try and hit around the flange itself to try and work this free. Definitely want to be wearing safety glasses when doing this. Now, if you're still having a hard time getting the hub to come out, another trick you can do, use a socket on the bolts on the back side, and you can actually hit the socket to push, or use the bolts to push the hub out. We're going to go ahead and try that now. Once you get the hub free, you're going to work your axle through it. Using your 21mm socket, go ahead and remove the nut off the tie rod end. With that nut loose, go ahead and just tap the top. Remove the nut. Separate the tie rod end. Using a 15/16 socket, we're going to go ahead and remove the nut off the lower ball joint. So we loosen the nut all the way. It's on just a few threads. I'm going to go ahead and separate the knuckle from the lower ball joint. Now, before doing this, make sure that the upper control arm nut is on that ball joint to hold the knuckle. I'm going to go ahead and use our pickle fork and a hammer to separate the lower. Now, before we remove the nut off of the lower ball joint here. We went ahead and put a jack underneath. We want to go ahead and support the suspension, the lower control arm. Just going to put a little bit of upward pressure on this. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove that nut. Then we'll go ahead and remove the upper control arm ball joint nut. Once that's off, go ahead and grab that knuckle and set that aside. Going to use our ball joint press to press the ball joint out of the control arm. Before pressing in the ball joint with the new boot, you just want to go ahead and just gently pop the boot off, slide that off and set it aside. Now what we want to do is wipe off the top and just run a wire brush around here. Make sure that's nice and clear of any debris or rust. Now using your snap ring pliers, I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Put your snap ring on. I'm going to go ahead and install our lower ball joint boot. I'm going to press it up into place. And let's go ahead and feed the axle through as we put the ball joint through on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get that nut started on here. I'm going to thread that on as far as we can. Now what we're going to do is use our jack to grab the lower control arm. We're going to raise the suspension up. This will help us get our upper ball joint lined up and installed. Get that nut started. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the jack, lower that down. And then we're going to go ahead and snug both the upper and lower ball joint nuts down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wheel hub bolts, which we've already cleaned, and put some anti-seize compound on there. We're going to go ahead and feed these through the back of the knuckle and do that for all three. I want to go ahead and take our hub with our backing plate, line the splines up, work the axle through the hub itself. Once that's on, we're going to go ahead, make sure our backing plate is lined up. Our ABS sensor is clocked at about 11 o'clock. And then we're going to work the hub back and into the knuckle. Once you have that backing plate and everything lined up, go ahead and start your hub bolts through the back side. All right, we're going to go ahead and snug these bolts down. As we tighten this down, it's going to pull the wheel hub into the knuckle. Just want to snug down all three of these bolts. I'm going to go ahead and torque these back bolts down to 120 foot-pounds. And repeat for the other two. We're now going to go ahead and torque the outer tie rod nut to 55 foot-pounds. We're going to torque the lower nut to 70 foot-pounds. Then we'll snug the upper bolt to 55 foot-pounds. You want to make sure that the notch for the cowsel nut opens up to the hole in the ball joint so we can go ahead and put our cotter pin. We'll go ahead and feed our cotter pin through. And bend over the lower tab, line that up, just press that up into place. And we'll just snip off the excess. Feed the lower cotter pin through. And go ahead and bend the tab down, tap this up, and snip off the excess. Now we're going to go ahead and install our ABS wire. We have our little push clip here, so it comes around the back of the knuckle. Work that into that. This has the rubber unit here. You want to push that into the clip. Do the same for the next rubber mount. There's a clip in the back here. We could take the wire up, feed it up into the back. Go ahead and connect this. Press that lock tab down. And then we'll just put this clip back into the fender liner here, like so. Now what we want to do is use the C-clamp to compress these pistons back into the caliper. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of tension on here. Then what we're going to do is come on over on this side here. We're going to crack open the bleeder screw here. You want to make sure you have a catch can underneath, or rags or towels, because brake fluid will come out. Once you get that loose, you should see brake fluid starting to come out a little bit. You want to slowly compress. Once the pistons are compressed in, go ahead and tighten the bleeder screw. And grab your rags. Good, clean down the caliper. And if you want, go ahead and spray it down with a cleaner. Remove the C-clamp. And the old pad. And you see the pistons are compressed in. Now I want to pay attention to is the mobility of these slide pins here. They are both pretty free, but we're going to pull out the sliders and just put a little extra grease in there. So what you can do is, if they're nice and free floating, just press it on one side, pull it out like so. I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the upper one. Go ahead and hang your caliper up again. You want to go ahead and clean these up. Do an inspection for any type of marks or scoring. Everything looks good. So what we could do is take a little bit more grease. We're just going to put some inside the boot. Just run that through. And take your pin, pop that in, and push it right through to the other side. You work that boot onto the lip of the other side of the slide pin. And just wipe everything down. Now when you're doing this here, you want to make sure that there's no splits or tears in the rubber boot. If there's any tears or splits in the rubber boots, you want to go ahead and replace those. Now we have our caliper bracket here with our old pads in here. What we want to do is remove these units. I want to now go ahead and pay attention to the type of sliders that are in here. I want to now go ahead and remove these and set them aside. You can use a screwdriver to do so. Just kind of work that out. Do the same for this side. With the sliders removed, you want to now go ahead and clean up the brackets themselves using your wire brush. Clean off any rust and clean up any of the chunky pieces that might be on there that are going to cause any type of fitment issues with installing the new hardware. Once everything is cleaned up, go ahead and repeat for the other side. Let's give these a quick spray down. You want to go ahead and pay attention to your mounting hardware. Go ahead and use wire brush. Clean off any of the debris on these here. It's just going to make that much easier for reinstallation later on. If the bolts are damaged in any way, now's the time to go ahead and replace them. Repeat for the other bolt. Now when replacing your hardware, you always want to pay attention to the shape of it. This particular one has an extension off the side, so make sure your replacement part looks just like it. Same with the other one. Put a light coat of grease where the sliders are going to fit. And go ahead and snap the slide unit into place and repeat for the other side. And then I'll go ahead and install our axle nut. And then we'll snug that down. Before we install our wheel hub, we're going to go ahead and put some anti-seize around the hub itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the brake rotor. I'm going to go ahead and line up our caliper bracket. We did clean up the bolts and put some anti-seize on here first. And go ahead and get the bolt started by hand. I'm going to go ahead and torque down the caliper bracket bolts to 130 foot-pounds. Do this for both bolts. Now I want to go ahead and install your brake pads. So to keep your pads stable and not popping out from the rotor shifting around, I usually grab a spare nut that's been sitting around. Grab one of the lug nuts. If you happen to have a lug nut that has a through hole, that'll be perfect because the nut will be able to thread down further. And just kind of thread that on by hand. That'll keep that rotor nice and stable. Now we can go ahead and slide our pads into the correct position. Once you have these in place, what we're going to want to do now is grab your brake caliper. Make sure that your sliders are moved in. We'll go ahead and line this up, slide this over the pads. Now what we're going to do is take our lower caliper bracket bolt and slide that in. Just get that started a couple threads. I'm going to move to the upper bolt and line this up. I want to go ahead and make sure that the caliper is popped into the tab. And we'll go ahead and get this bolt started. Just get it started a few threads. Then we'll go ahead and snug those down. So now we're going to go ahead and snug down the caliper bolts. Do the same for the top. Now we're going to go ahead and torque the caliper bolts to 24 foot-pounds. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the nut here. Once this is done, you want to go ahead and hop on the vehicle, pump up the brakes, open the hood, and check your brake fluid level. If you do need to add any brake fluid level, check the manufacturer specifications, add fluid as necessary, and then install your wheel. I'm going to go ahead and install 2 of our lug nuts and thread them on as far as they can go. Now we're using a large pry bar between the 2 studs here on the lug nuts so we don't damage the threads. I'm going to go ahead and torque the axle nut down to 185 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead, remove the lug nuts, and install your wheel. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the wheel. And get all the lug nuts started by hand. Then we're going to go ahead and snug up the lug nuts. I'm going to go ahead and torque down the lug nuts to 135 foot-pounds.